Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 10 game for you in Marceau. This is the first game I've played in the ship, going over the matchmaking threats to my ship, taking a look at the mostly the Moskva, Yoshino, Smolensk, lesser extent Haragumo. Um, those are the primary ships I'd be looking at a threat to this ship. So for those that aren't aware, Marceau basically appears to be a different version of Kleber. She's a little slower, and the guns reload way faster, but they do have a good bit of arc on them. And the torpedoes, 9 kilometers. So even with this build without concealment expert, just an AFT captain that I pulled off my Mogador, you know, you got a decent bit of gun range, a really good rate of fire and pretty good fire chance. Just treating this like a full gunboat. And to my thought was it feels sort of like an early Kleber with the torpedoes, and as long as you could compensate shooting at ships with the guns, you could do a pretty ridiculous amount of damage in a hurry with this ship. And I mean, you don't need main battery reload with this ship. So because this is trap, it's a large cap size. My 7.8 kilometer concealment does not exceed the size of the cap. I'm basically pushing right into C cap. Try to start flipping the cap because my gearing is headed to B cap. Now my Zhao is doing questionable things right now. I'm thinking that it's highly likely that I'm gonna have to give this cap up if that Zhao gets nuked. I do spot the curve first. Some ships are starting to get spotted. Now, one thing about the torpedoes, they're not really spammy like you have with Kleber. They have a pretty long reload on them, but again, you've got, 2 sets of 3 on each side of the ship. So in general, you should have some torps available. If you look there, it was, over over a 2-minute 20-second reload on the torps. So it is something that you're going to want to plan for to use the torps correctly. Now here I'm just angling away. I know that other DDs are going to be having torpedoes available soon. Now I'm not located. That previously was, I believe the Zhao is picking up the RPF for me right now. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that curve first to come around here. Now take a look at this HE. Yeah, nice 3K volley right in on the superstructure. Already got a fire. And my newest little machine gun is off to the races. Curve first rep the one fire, so really just getting ready to pour it in here. I want to duck in behind these islands. I get undetected, so I'm just going to slam on the brakes here and just use these high shell arcs to my advantage and try to deal some damage on this curve first. And there's an additional fire that's unrepairable. That's going to be a decent amount of damage on that curve first. And that right there kind of shows you the damage potential that this ship can have. It's kind of disgusting. The unusual torp sets will tell you Smolensk is around. Just kind of hoping my Puerto Rico would radar up here because I'm pretty sure he'd pick up the Smollend. But he doesn't, so I am just going to keep kiting back. Now I'm circling back around here because I want to have another go at this Kerr first. There's not a lot of room to maneuver up here, but I think we have enough ships here that this Kerr first is going to try to decide to bug out, and that's going to give me an opportunity to gunboat him. If he does push, I do have my torpedoes available. So gonna start taking some shots. I waited, it is important to note, I did wait for the Kerr first to actually start his turn. The reason I did that is while he's in a turn, he can't really shoot at me with his main battery. He can only, if he's secondary spec, you know, click on me and get his secondaries going on me. I know that he's coming out of the turn, he's gonna shoot at me, so basically just angling into him. Did light a double fire there, again really showing off the fire potential here on the ship. Unfortunately, his immunity period is such that I'm not going to be able to light a second unrepairable fire on him and burn him down even further. But I know that the DDs are, enemy DDs are around up here, so I want to take a look and see what I can find up here, see if I can find anything that's gonna help my team where I can gun it down. And I see the Kerr first is getting ready to rush through this gap, so I'm gonna use my speed and agility here, drop one set of torps in on the Kerr first, kind of expecting him to have hydro, so I'm looking to see if he's gonna, you know, dodge these torps, you know, right about now. If he had hydro, he'd be seeing them. He's not, so just torping for him to turn out to try to bring his guns back into action on my Montana and my Puerto Rico, and then duck back in here behind the island and start doing some stealth gunboating on this Kerr first. Had a flood on him, picked up a fire. Do take a big hit there, but it's basically I'm trading that little bit of HP to put this Kerr first down, and that's going to really take a lot of pressure off my team up here. There we go. Smollend. Now take a look at this lead on the Smollend. It shows you just how long this flight time is on the gun. I'm really aiming pretty far in front of this DD, but for some reason these shells, they're kind of tracking with me, where I don't know if they're kind of like, I think they fly a little better than gearing shells, but something with it has really kind of tracked with me that one game right out of the gate, and I'm just making shots that I wouldn't expect to make with a new ship. So being honest, I just was guesstimating the lead there for a ship that, you know, had these sorts of shell travel times, and you know, it kind of worked out here. So taking a look at the Haragumo, he's a little further than I want to shoot, but I know I've got a good HP lead on this Smollend, so I'm going to push in and try to pick a fight with this guy.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Smollend's up. Now look at this Alpha. I mean, that should show you just how nasty the HE is on this ship. Got a Haragumo. A lot of DDs wouldn't want to pick a fight with a Haragumo. Not this thing. Especially out at this range. I'm just dialing it in. Who needs main battery reload booster? That's the end of a Haragumo, and that secures the north on this map. Dodge some friendly torpedoes. And now I'm going to use my speed to get down into B cap and try to finish this game so we can win it. We do have a pretty good points advantage, but we're tied up with 4 ships apiece, and I think my Kurfürst is getting focus fired here, which means he'll be going down shortly, and that's going to be a shame. I'm just pinging this Puerto Rico because he's low HP. Somebody should be able to shoot that guy, and he's broadside to the Montana, broadside to, well, not quite broadside, but he's showing a good bit of angle. Here's the Bourgogne. He's still got a lot of HP left, and looks like something smoked up there, maybe the Smolensk. Now, initially, I thought this Smolensk was in this smoke screen right off to my side. He's actually behind this island still, and this is a DD that had died while I was occupied up north. And there you see, I'm looking at it right there. Oh shit, he's behind the island. So I'm gonna look just to confirm where he's at, and I'm just gonna start opening up on this Bourgogne. Now, this is an engagement that kind of shows the slow shell travel time. There's a tongue twister. Just with how fast that ship can accelerate, decelerate under speed boost, you're seeing them really starting to take a big lead that you typically would normally see if I was shooting at a DD or something. Just trying to get some damage out on this Bourgogne. And the Smolensk is shooting me. I'm starting to forego some accuracy on the Bourgogne to dodge shells, but eventually I've just got to accept I need to turn out. And honestly, I should have turned out a little earlier here. Trying out some AP here. Does it have the same pin that Kleber does? I don't think so. I am getting some decent pin damage out of it. But with that hit, I'm gonna disengage. It's not worth it for me to lose my ship in this sort of engagement here, so gonna just drop off. I'm gonna let my Smolensk try to work on their Smolensk. And I'm already hatching a plan right now to basically make sure that we secure this victory, and that's circling back around to A cap to be in position to back cap it if I need to. Smolensk smokes up right now and shooting at my Smolensk. I waited to make sure he wasn't going to pop out of the smoke. Just going to throw some random shots in there, see if I can pick up some damage here on this guy. But ultimately, last thing I don't want to do is get detected. So I see that the Smolensk stopped shooting. I'm okay with that. As long as he doesn't have damage going off on an ally, you know, I'm good with that. So right here, pick up the Smolensk, threw some torpedoes out in the fastest path of travel. I'm just spotting this Smolensk. I'm waiting for him to open up. And now that he started shooting at my Smolensk, my Smolensk has a line of sight to him. I'm going to use this low island here, and I'm just going to abuse this Smolensk. Again, really seeing that alpha coming through, that nice reload. I am not wondering at all why they did not give this ship main battery reload booster. It would be obscene. And I'm gonna go on ahead, step on A cap. The idea being, if this Conqueror's coming up this way, maybe I get to throw some torpedoes at him, maybe not. Ultimately, I want to make sure that I don't die, uh, and just make sure that we're going to be able to eke out the win. I think at this point it's pretty much in the bag. The Conqueror is not going to be able, even if he killed me, he wouldn't be able to cap all these points before uh, time runs out. Well, points run out. It's 964 points. So what do I think of this ship? I love this ship. I love, love, love it. Uh, I love Kleber. I think I might actually like this ship better than Kleber. I know that there's some people out there that might think that that's blasphemy. Something with the guns just click, and you know the most common complaint that I see from people being that it's got terrible shell arcs. It for whatever reason these guns are clicking with me, and I'll take it. I mean, maybe they fly like Royal Navy daring shells. There's just something about them that I've got them on the money, and I mean, this game it showed right out of the gate. Um, just a really really solid performance with a ship that I wasn't expecting this coming in. I basically was going, okay, everybody's complaining about the trajectory on the shells. Let's see how bad it is and go from there. Um, torpedoes, they're hitting good. 9 kilometer torpedo range, I can make that work. Even full gunboat build like this with no concealment expert, I'll post a build below in the description. Um, you can still torp from concealment. You still got a lot of flexibility there. At the end of the day, uh, this ship's hot for me. This is um, definitely glad I didn't wait around. I just picked it up. You know, Today was the first day I noticed it was for sale, and um, went on ahead and bought it. So if you guys have any questions or comments specifically about the ship, about the game, go on ahead and leave them below. Hope you guys are having a good night. And number one is asking for Mickey. Where's Mickey? Oh, she's gonna be quiet now. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good night. I will talk to you later.